Okay, I keep getting people saying things like, hey, is that just a Merlin or a pretty fancified Merlin or something like that? And so if you're not familiar with Seagull Merlin, feel free to go look them up. They are a fine instrument, which I used to sell, but here's my river guitar. I would like to just break down the differences between the two since there seems to be confusion, and I get it because on the internet it's hard to see one versus another. So I will try and show you the different pieces of the different instruments so you can kind of see them side by side, get a sense of how they're different, because Corollas and Mercedes get you to the same place, but they do it in a different way, right? So here is a Seagull Merlin. Got some ukulele style tuners. They're low ratio, so they don't, you know, they're not as precision tuner kind of thing. It's got this sort of scooped out deal right there, and a 0 fret style, which is kind of more of a folk style there. The neck is the same width going all the way up and down. The width is actually a little larger than a lot of people say they like. I mean, I'm kind of good with one way or the other, but it's wider than the spacing on a guitar neck would be. It only has the 1 octave of frets with no flat 7, no 6.5 fret, the way that you would on a regular mountain dulcimer. It's about 1 inch deep, and it's got this one body and neck construction. It's really 2 wings glued on. You can see the seams in there, glued on together to make one piece with the top stuck on it like that. And you can see that the frets are just laid straight into the neck. It does mean that the string height off of the body is pretty minimal, which I used to find was very difficult to play because I would hit the body a lot. The bridge here is fixed, so that's a fixed bridge with a replaceable saddle. That's how they get the G versus D tuned. And then it's got that string through construction style there as well. The Merlin folks, the Seagull family, and myself, we both found this instrument right here, which is made by Dan out in Asheville, the Woodrow Company. So that's the one we both companies found. This is all based on a mountain dulcimer, so that's how they end up seeming very similar. This double string construction at the very top there is actually an idea that we both got from here, which is derived from the mountain dulcimer community. It used to be that you'd have 2 strings on the high end like that so that you could have a louder melody. We'll jump over to the river dulcimer here. This is the deluxe version, so it's got fanciness to it, that's for sure. I'll start at the top like I did before. So the way the headstock is angled back gives a little bit cleaner break angle there, so it doesn't just drop straight down. And this is called a flute. That's off of straight up, you know, acoustic guitar stylings. These are higher ratio ukulele tuners, so they will be a little bit more precise. That is a carved bone nut. The neck tapers out. String spacing up here is a little bit closer to what you'd expect from an acoustic guitar, so it's a little tighter in and less wide. But the neck is a separate piece here. Part of the reason for that is it pushes all of this geometry up so the strings get higher off of the top of the instrument, just like on an acoustic guitar, so you can strum it and play it a lot harder. But the body is about 1.5 inches deep, and so the neck and the body being separated like that gives it more stability. I did put carbon fiber strips underneath the fretboard as well. The fretboard being a separate piece also increases the strength capabilities of it, but it gives it obviously a much nicer look and feel. The fretboard on this is radiused, which if you're used to playing guitars, you know is kind of a standard thing so that you can kind of have the curvature of the board with the curvature of your hand. The tapering of the neck, if I didn't say, is because strings vibrate more up here than they do down there. Because we've got the bridge like it is right there, instead of the single plane you have on a Merlin, these play in tune up here, whereas a Merlin is just simply not designed to do that. It's part of maybe the folky charm of it, but it's part of why I wanted to design my own, because I was a little bit frustrated by that. Bridge is floating, so we can change out tunings a little bit better on it, and at least without having to buy a new saddle. Carved bone there. You can see, like I was saying before, string through design. All in all, I'd say very different in terms of construction. Sure, they still fill the same style. I did say on that one, we do have an octave worth of notes there, just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has got 1.5 octaves, and then it goes all the way up here, and it does have that flat 7 note or the 6.5 fret if you're used to mountain dulcimers. So that's what those basic specs are. Let me do a quick sound comparison, because I feel like that also says a lot about how they differ. All right, the kids are downstairs. Let's see about the sound test. We've got just open. They're both tuned to DAD. Okay, openness. I'll play a few chords on here. Let's go with up here and see if we can get that. There's your B minor. I just like that pattern. just do. And then one of these. I'm trying to switch over and see if that sounds different over on this one. So we've got that as our open, then we're for me, it's, you know, it's a warmer sound. It is a more full sound. It's a lower sound. We did spec them out, like with scopes and stuff after we made them. This one is far more low end heavy, and I think it's going to get more so when we change the gauge of strings. But, you know, we are talking about a more premium instrument, and so that's not what everybody's looking for. So hopefully this is a helpful comparison. I'll also make one for the strum stick because I think that a lot of people have that comparison in mind as well. So anyway, thanks so much, Ryan with Inglewood Instruments. Later.